Okay, and this is going to be our fourth and final assignment for the day, and I believe that this is our most important assignment of the day. This is going to be interval ear training. So this is going to be the program is going to play the interval for us. We won't be able to see the notes, and we have to tell it what kind of intervals that it is. Now, again, we have no time limit here. You have to complete 10 correctly, and because this is a new skill that most of us probably are not very practiced in, I'm allowing you 40 errors. So you're allowed to mess up 40 times as long as you can get 10 right. Now, also, we only have certain intervals included. I'm not going to, even though my videos yesterday included every single one of these things from minor second up to octave, the only ones that you're going to be asked about today are major third, perfect fourth, tritone, perfect fifth, and octave. So there's not too much to worry about. You will for sure be asked the same question a couple times, but this is the whole point, is that we're going to be practicing. We have to start with the basics before we make this too hard for ourselves. All of these will be ascending, so you're always going to hear the lower note first. And also, there is a fixed root. What that means is every single example is going to start with the same note. So the highest note in each example might change, but you're always going to hear the same note at the beginning. So this is what that sounds like. It's going to just play the two notes. If you need to hear again, you can click here, or you can always press A on your keyboard. Okay, so when you're doing this, think of a few things. Try to think of the melodies that I gave you yesterday, and think of what those are and if it sounds like what you're hearing here. Or if you have other examples that you know of certain intervals other than what I told you yesterday, use your own knowledge. If you're struggling to think of what melody this might be, you might not be sure if it's Here Comes the Bride, or if it's When the Saints Go Marching In, or if it's Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Try to think, are these two notes close together or far apart from each other? From left to right here, we have the smallest intervals on the left and the biggest ones on the right. These two notes, to me, they sound like they're pretty close to each other. And then I listen to it. I think to myself, oh, when the saints. Or does it sound more like Here Comes the Bride? Doesn't sound quite like Here Comes the Bride to me. So I'm going to select major third. And that's what it was. Now, it doesn't make a big deal out of telling you that you're correct, but up here you will see that I have completed it. There are 0 answers. So the major third was correct for that first one. Now we're on to the second one. Okay, this one sounds kind of tense, kind of surprising, kind of jarring. This tritone here, that's the only one that is not a nice consonance above C. Tritone's the only dissonant, so if you hear something that makes you kind of cringe a little, it's probably going to be that tritone. Also, if you know West Side Story, you can think Maria. And that's what I hear here. I'm going to click tritone. Da-dum. That sounds to me like Here Comes the Bride. So I'm going to select perfect fourth. Now is again correct. Now this one sounds like a very big leap. La la. And if we're thinking of our songs that I gave you yesterday, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That sounds like an octave to me. Oh, okay, so now we're back to that kind of surprising, jarring one. So we're repeating this again. We've already had this one. This is a tritone. We just had this one. It's an octave. Okay, there we go. So this is the last one that we haven't heard yet. So this sounds like it's a bigger interval, but it's not as big as an octave. It's definitely not a tritone because it doesn't make me kind of cringe up a little bit. Doesn't sound like Oh, When the Saints Go Marching In or Here Comes the Bride. Sounds more like Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. So I'm going to select perfect fifth. And I have completed 7 with 0 errors, so that means all of mine have been correct so far. I'm going to leave it off here because I've answered each of these for you. You have to get 10 correct. You're allowed up to 40 errors, so don't ever be scared to guess. Always try to think through, but don't be afraid to guess. Now, I will tell you that you will have to complete this assignment multiple times. This is a new skill, and repetition and practice is how we get better at skills. So because this is new, you will actually have to complete this one multiple times. I believe that I set it to 3 times. Let me check here. Yes, you have to do this 3 times. So I don't think it's going to take as long as it takes with me explaining, but you are required to fulfill this assignment 3 times, so that way you get practice. Again, I know that you're going to repeat intervals because there's not a ton selected, but the more we practice now, the better you're going to get at ear training. Thank you everybody for watching through this. Let me know if you're having any issues. I look forward to seeing your results. Have a great day.